Yeah. Hey. Ah.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of hanging out with you while we're waiting for our actual go time.
Which is a total of 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So we'll just sit here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh. So for the last, you could say, what? Since last night, I've been having some drainage happening in my sinuses, so I'm not really feeling all that great. But I took the, what, azithromycin today?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm still.
Yeah. So we'll log off as soon as we have met our quota for our bodies.
And I've been busy at work. Apparently, they really love me. So,
Everyone loves you.
they had me stay longer than I should have on some of the days. So now I'm like super tired because it's been years since I've went out and actually worked like that.
Yeah, I've been around all those energies as well as working constant.
Yeah.
It's not just that, but compounded is everyone else is feeling like this too. I mean, I could barely wake up this morning. My body just did not want to move. It's like, come on, move. And so that on top of the new job and the new energies and everything that's exhausting you there. I mean, we're just tired. There's a lot of shifts happening. Talk about shifts. You and I were just talking about there's a big shift happening. Don't know if it's happening for everyone yet, but we know it's happening for us. And in this shift, we're noticing um, the timeline shift. We're noticing changes in the what you call it
Algorithms.
algorithms of our social media. Um, there is also are you seeing a lot of traffic on the roads, or is it kind of empty-ish? And the stores, are they full?
I'm not noticing too much of crowds, but there is enough. But I'm noticing a big shift in the way everybody's driving. Nobody's driving as crazy as they used to.
Mm,
People are driving more mellow because I'm feeling it within myself, driving mellow. But what really hit me the most was that one guy on TikTok that said, um, if you can have a non-reaction to anything outside your vehicle while you're driving, no matter if someone cuts you off or whatever, if you have a non-reaction, you can become free. And it's true. Because how you react in a car is how you react outside of yourself, wherever that you are. So if you're able to hold that peace within you during the time that you're driving, then you're able to become free.
oh, we totally see that. We know you guys see that too.
Heidi says lots of traffic here and driving like nuts, so it hasn't reached Heidi yet. Heidi's still in the shits of hells.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Heidi.
Heidi, come, Heidi.
Um,
Come sit on our bench.
Katie's in hell too, so there is so much more traffic, and yes, the driving in California is not good. Well, California is the pits of hell, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, there's so much about California, I do not miss.
Same here. So my algorithm for TikTok, you guys know that I usually always have a lot of videos to share or have something to share off of TikTok, but my algorithm has gone to shit. And I don't know how. I haven't changed anything. I'm not getting any high vibrational videos. I'm not getting any political videos. I'm hardly seeing anything about Trump. So things are quieting down on my end. But what has stood out to me a lot, or that has really stood out to me lately, is the two videos that I saw of do not attach to any timelines. And what the stars were just saying to me earlier today is that right now is very imperative to calm down on the commenting, calm down on the emotions that you're feeling, calm down on the thoughts, the words, and the actions that you're saying while you're watching these videos or interacting with certain people or being out in the energetic field of everybody else's field. Which reminds me, we need to do collective tuning today.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't do that yesterday.
Okay.
I was too tired to do that yesterday.
Yeah. All right. So after this, before dinner? Or after dinner?
Not after dinner. It'll have to be before dinner.
Okay. All right. So, what happened on YouTube, Candy? Molly, I don't understand your question. What does that mean? Did you notice something on YouTube? Did you see a sign from YouTube say, "We don't like Kidd and Candi"?
Oh, well, there's a lot of people that don't like it.
So I have to share something in regards to what you just said. So I'll be scrolling through these posts, right? And then I'll hit on something and I'm like, I feel all this emotion. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. It makes me so mad. And I'll get in there and I'll start typing something out. And then I remember, oh, yeah, no commenting on this, no attaching, erase. And I do that sometimes a lot, but I don't post it.
Oh, Lisa. She's Lee.
Oh, it got cut off? No idea. Can everyone on YouTube see us?
Did you want to?
Yeah. I'll do that on this one.
Because I'm on Facebook on this one. So
Let me check. Let me check, Lee. I might be in slow-mo, but I'm getting it.
So I got that hit that we need to detach ourselves from the energies, from whatever that is happening, whatever's being sent into our experiences.
Well, still there.
That's why my TikTok went to shit. So it might come back. I'm not sure, but we will see. But this is a time that we need to keep our fingers to ourselves.
Oh,
What?
listen. Okay. So Jennifer, listen to this, Lee. Jennifer says, laugh my ass off. For me, it closed the live like it ended. I had to refresh. They also unsubscribed me from all your channels. What?
Well, I noticed that we went from 17,000 down to 15.6.
Yeah. Oh, that's been progressive.
I know, but
Yeah.
that's what I saw.
Me too. I've been watching it. And at first it bothered me, and then I realized, oh, they're probably getting rid of a lot of fake accounts.
Well, I'm noticing over at work as well, since we have touch screens and we're using basically AI for the self checkouts, the computers are glitching a lot. Meaning that yesterday we have 8 registers. We had all 8 open. 1, 3, 5, and 6 were completely down.
Ooh. Dear.
They worked, and then they shut down. We had to shut them all down. So we only had 2, 4, and 7 open.
Wow.
And we had a line of 50 people.
don't-
Garden was full, lumber was full,
You-
no other registers open, and everybody's like, oh.
You know how long it's been since I've seen lines like that? I just must miss them. Oh, on a personal note, you know what I realized my hat is good for? Sweet things.
See no evil.
Yeah.
If I see no evil, I hear no evil. See, listen. Stuffy.
Why didn't you give them the full effect and get closer to the mic? I'm sure everyone misses the fact that they didn't really get that.
Oh.
We needed a good laugh.
Lisa Zenit showed me Facebook. Oh, I need that hat to deal with stupid people. Yes.
Wait a minute, what? Then it showed me, oh.
We're stupid people.
Right.
Just block them all out. Block out the stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things have been happening lately. You know, ever since that we talked about the solar flares, a lot of this stuff has been happening after we talked about the solar flares. The machines over there in the Antarctica.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that they revved up those machines. Hence why
Way to go, kid! You put that on her
Perry
timeline.
and all those other stupid ass bitch ass ladies went up to Faith the other day.
Right. Oh, that was, oh my gosh. They were really showing how stupid that was. And then the door got stuck and someone came with a pry bar. Pry bar, right?
You mean George Soros?
No, the door on the spaceship.
Yeah, George Soros is the one that opened up the door.
I thought he was gone. He's still around? What am I missing?
You said that somebody went over there with a crowbar to open up the door.
Yeah, because it got stuck.
No, it didn't get stuck because one of the stupid ladies opened it up already.
You know what? I did not get
And they
that.
came by with this really long thing, and they call it a crowbar, which is not a crowbar. I really doubt it's a crowbar.
You know what? I was only watching half of what they were showing.
That's because it was so stupid. The windows were like huge.
Sure, one girl gets out and kisses the ground. Oh my god.
That was Katy Perry.
Was it really?
Yes, that was Katy Perry.
No way. Oh my gosh. Katie, I'm so disappointed.
Okay, so they went over a lot of scientific facts about that, and one of the ladies, Caitlyn Jenner, whatever, she had boob implants, and they said that because of the vacuum and everything up in space, how did she come out so perfect when her boobs would have literally exploded?
That's a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
And the
ask
flower
her?
that Katy Perry had came out non-wilted because it's supposed to wilt or turn yellow in a vacuum.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of scientific facts that people were pointing out about this thing, and I know it's to awaken some of the people that are still asleep from this energetic hold that everybody's having on, but it just shows how stupid that they need to get to wake certain people up.
But some family members mentioning, no, the door did not get stuck. They opened and shut it real quick.
It was flimsy. It was a piece of cardboard. Oh, there was something else. What was it? Oh my goodness, I completely forgot. It was so bad. Oh yes. The rocket looked like a penis. Long. Whoop.
Oh. They were trying to make other countries penis heavy and
I think so. I think George Soros was trying to compensate for something. If you think about it. My rocket's bigger than yours. Oh
my god.
Hi, Victoria.
Us women are lacking in that kind of toy.
Lee says, "I'm really feeling an excitement within anybody else. We're feeling it. I know that I'm feeling it, and I'm kind of actually glad that my TikTok algorithm went to shit because it's allowing me to not focus upon that at the moment, but focus upon other things."
Jenny says, yes, it did. Someone put balls on it.
I didn't see that.
I didn't either, but
I did see it go up. I'm like Jason Q. It goes up and then
like who?
Jason Q when he talks about the rockets going up, it doesn't go up straight. It goes like this. It curves. Yeah, because it's true. They don't ever go up straight.
And KD says, and they touched just the tip of space.
Oh, Brock's latest climax.
Hello, Victoria. Yes, you did. It's been a while.
That landing as well. The landing was so...
It was such a Smurf landing. So, Kidd was talking about whether or not you guys had any questions that he could channel through the stars for. Jennifer says they will store it now in a black bag. That one won't vibrate though.
And I won't ever touch it.
I think I gotta retell that story sometime soon.
Someday.
That was funny.
Katie's funny. They touch just the tip of space. So I'm really wondering what else is going to be happening, because if my algorithm went to shit, what else is going to be happening? Because that means that the quiet is coming. You know, when the stars said silence, or the silence must fall. The silence before the storm. Something big is right around the corner.
Oh, we've actually seen other people make posts about that. Something big is right around the corner. Can feel it.
And I'm seeing that over at work with not just the radios. The radios too are having problems. And not just the POS systems, but the radios. Everything is shifting. It seems like.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
It sounds like Brock's pogo stick.
Happy Chick says they're flying in a big penis. Yep.
And people are decoding the insignia, the symbol,
Yeah, it's an upside down, whatever.
Spifflement, or however you say
Yeah.
his name, Satan. But they're also saying that right by every of those ladies' names, there was a symbol. But there was one extra symbol, then there was a name.
Hmm.
So there was maybe supposed to be one other person or one other thing. And somebody hasn't decoded the whole thing yet. But I did see that part. So how many ladies went? It was 6, right? Or was it 7?
Didn't even care to notice. I was
I
like,
think it was 7.
wait, what's happening here? And then I realized, what? They flew him out to space? No, they didn't. And that was my inner dialogue, because I wasn't really paying attention, nor did I care to really pay attention. And that's why I thought that they had to break down the door or something, because it got stuck. But it really wasn't. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting on X or Facebook, and I'm just bored. Like, it's just not feeling good to be there.
Well, remember, people have been saying, the stars said, that TikTok, X, Facebook, they're all on a different timeline wavelength algorithm, meaning that they are attached to multiple different timelines all at once, sending all sorts of different information from all sorts of different timelines into one main source of media, mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call it mainstream, because it's a stream that's connected to all other streams of information, time wave, time time waves.
Mm. Are you feeling anything at the moment?
I'm feeling a little bit more energized at the moment.
Because I have some discomfort here, and I'm feeling lightheaded, and your voice was just sort of
Booming.
yeah, in my head. No, but I'm wondering what I'm picking up.
Why was Katy Perry on the rocket? Because she has money. I think each one of them is a symbol of something. I don't know what it is yet, but they all represent something different. And they were all different nationalities too.
The women?
Mm-hmm. Different nationalities. There's Mexican, there was Asian, there was white, there was black, there was all sorts of different mixes of different races.
Interesting.
Right? So there's that has to deal with it. So I don't know what the decode is with that. I think there were 7 women.
So they're reaching out to the different races and the femininity, huh?
I think that there was more of a mockery with that than there was anything else. When it came to the femininity. But I think it also brought a strength of women can do it in a way. But what really gets me the most is the numbers. Why is there more symbols than there was names?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the missing piece? Who is the missing piece is the question. And I think the symbols, one of them was the scale, which means that they were all part of the celestial calendar.
Hmm.
7. So there was 8
That's
symbols and seven women. Thank you.
So thumbs up, please. Press the thumbs up and share if you would. Wow. So someone on here said that who was it? She said she's been unsubscribed to all of our channels. So if that's happened, then resubscribe. I don't doesn't mean you'll get notification.
Jimmy says a lot of Austin Powers symbolism. Makes sense. I haven't seen Austin Powers in a long time. I'm gonna have to rewatch that, see what type of things I could pull from that, because I remember there was a lot in there. I just wasn't grown enough to be able to pick out any of those symbols then.
Katie says Jimmy Jibs, yes, they totally look like fembots, big hair and big boobs.
Mm-hmm. In a lot of their pictures, it's like you couldn't even see their faces. They were all distorted. So there was a lot of what do you call that? I wouldn't call it AI generation, but it was more of what is that name?
I'm really interested in what you're saying about this because I am seeing distorted faces everywhere in real life, real time.
It's called perception filter.
So, what's going on with the perception filter?
Every person has an auric field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every field can distort a certain frequency. And what does cameras capture? Frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that their fembots, the fembots were putting out a frequency which was creating a image of something. Everything else looked fine, but the ladies looked distorted.
So what is affecting? That's affecting my vision in people.
So when people walk around, and they are either greys, reptilians, or any type of alien species that has a machine on them that can change their perception filter, which I could show you a Doctor Who that has that, where she is a eight-legged water monster that wears a big dress. And you can't see her legs because her legs look like a dress because of a perception filter.
Oh, I think I saw that one. You were watching it and I came in and was watching it with you. I think I remember that. I remember you talking about the dress. So some of the people look like Picasso where one eye's here and one eye's there and the mouth is all twisted.
It's a perception filter. So those people were real. Those paintings were of real people in real time. That's how they saw them to be. But they made it into Picasso. But if you're able to actually see the image within that image, then you'll know who that image was.
So Katie was wondering if the people I'm seeing with the distorted faces are NPCs.
They could be. It's a big possibility because we are breaking free from the Matrix. And remember, when we are breaking free from the Matrix fights back to stay alive inside your auric field, which means that it's going to push back and fight back, which means it's going to send in anything and everything that it can to keep you stuck in the 3D reality, which is why it's very important to not comment or say or do or feel or anything whenever you are watching, feeling, seeing, or interacting with videos, people, whatever that's happening. And somebody, it was funny, somebody asked, so what about my children? What about my kids that are doing this? And somebody said, what was it? That you are their power, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you are their power, but you are their guiding light. Mainly where you go, your children go, because where you go, your children are tethered along with you. They're always tethered with the parents. They're tethered with the guardians. They're tethered with the people that they trust the most, which means where I go, you go. Where you go, dad goes. Where dad goes, the thrashes go.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. So it's not that, yes, your kids have, what do you call that, their own life to live and their own choices to do something, but there is an energetic pull that is going to be pulling someone and stringing them along the right path because of the inner guidance system. In a child that does not know anything yet, it's always going to go with its inner guidance system, which is always following the one it trusts the most.
I see. Bye, Michael. Have fun working.
So look at Jimmy says Statue of Liberty, aka Lucifer, has 7 crowns, spikes, 7 women representing 7 continents. And remember what the stars said about number 7? Number 7 is the capturing number. What do you call that? What did they use with that number? It was used in the casinos for entrapment number. Number 7 has always been the entrapment number.
Mm-hmm. Cornelia says the cord and shifters.
Does an NPC not have a belly button? It really depends, Lee. It's kind of hard to make out an NPC. NPCs usually never react. They only give basically a non-reaction reaction. They react only a certain way to certain people at certain times when you are giving them the option to, kind of like what we did over there at the DMV, where that one security guy, he was an NPC. Where he said the thing to you and you said, well, do you need to repeat it back to him? And he said, this is something that I need to do, this blah blah blah, so I need to repeat it. And then he turned to me and was like, and then repeated it.
So think if you've seen Jumanji, think about the NPC Jeep driver. The NPC at the place that Kidd was just talking about reacted the same way. When one of the players in the game Jumanji asked a question that he didn't know how to respond to or wasn't programmed to respond to, he just went back to script. And that's what the security guard did. Went back to script. And it was interesting. I was looking at him. He looked normal. Because of his nationality, he had hairy neck. And when I was looking at his skin, he sweated. So, He didn't look like a very clean person either. But I don't. I would be surprised if there was anyone at that place that recognized him as an NPC. I almost didn't.
Well, it's like look for the people that says "Welcome to Jumanji," like, yeah, that guy. And to answer your question about it, so the number 7 isn't a lucky number. Whatever lucky number you deem to be lucky is going to be the lucky number. Remember, just because you see a number 7 doesn't mean that it's unlucky or it is lucky. What makes it lucky or unlucky is the frequencies that go along with these string of numbers. So while you're walking through Walmart, Target, Home Depot, or and wherever that you are, all these numbers are placed in a specific way, kind of like casinos, placed in a specific way. So your eyes pick it up, but then they send out a frequency, which then activates that number to do something to you. Hence why numbers are in strings of numbers wherever that you go and you see it with your peripheral vision or on the side of your eye, or if you notice it or you walk by it or whatever, the numbers activate when the frequency is played. That's why they like to play music. In elevators, they like to play music. In stores, they like to play music all the time. Be very careful with the frequencies, which is why it's very important to always protect yourself before you walk in and when you walk out of a restaurant, a store, or wherever that you go.
Victoria's asking, what is an NPC? Non-player.
A non-playable character. So basically, it's just a robot. It is something that has a script to follow, and it will only follow that script that it has been written out. But just like Dolores Cannon says, that these drop back people will have a certain script, but will go off script if you give it the option to, because it is part of AI.
So a lot like neighbors, people who live in your community, like that video for the gated community. They don't have a purpose, these NPC players, until you give them a purpose and you meet them.
Their only script was to watch and observe that person.
For that, but there are others,
There are
right?
others.
That will have a purpose when you begin to have conversation with them. And you can you actually bring a consciousness in, not, let me reword that. Can that person develop a consciousness or have a consciousness show up if you interact in such a way that you're now talking?
No, not a non-playable character, but they will introduce you to one. It usually guides you to a specific. It changes you from one course to another course, which then sends you onto the path of finding the person that it has copied.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Wow.
So you'll talk to that NPC for maybe like a day, and then you'll go off, and then something will happen and it will guide you into a different route, and then it will guide you to the person that actually has a soul that they were copying.
Oh, interesting.
Hence why you see a lot of people that look like each other.
So Dolores Canyon called those people backdrop people?
Those are backdrop people.
Not
Hence why
NPCs.
you can find that person that has the soul, but if you think about it, most of the time, that person will never remember that very first conversation that you've had with them.
They won't. Okay.
because that was the NPC that guided you to the person that does have the soul. They'll remember that you met, but they won't remember your conversation.
Mm.
Hence why there's a lot of times where we were like, oh, I remember seeing this person. Because you've never met that person before. Your NPC that the Matrix has copied has met that person. But you don't remember the conversation. Interesting, right?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Probably another reason why the Matrix is breaking down in a lot of our NPCs that has been copied by us since we're breaking free from the Matrix. Our NPCs are no longer non and void. Hence why we're not meeting so many new people.
Mm.
Hence why we're alone.
Mm. I like my alone. I remember being such a tortured soul that I never wanted to be alone. I always wanted to be around people and always looking for a need to meet. Always thinking about myself.
Cornelia says NPCs don't hear the voice in their head. Hire Caliph for 40, no soul. They're extras.
Cool.
So, yeah.
We don't need all that. Take them back.
So all our NPCs are breaking. All our NPCs are dying.
So we didn't go through names and say hi to each of you individually, but hello. So glad you're here. Hello. You can tell we're tired. Boy, that's been the same storyline for weeks now.
See? Katie says, oh my god, kid, my new next door neighbor swears she's met me before. We've tried to connect on where she might have met me. She's admitted that she knows me from somewhere.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Interesting.
How many NPCs do you think that we have? Well, when you are fully in the Matrix, you could have at least 100.
Each
At
person?
least each person. Hence why there's 7.8 billion people in this world. There are clones, right? They're counting not just regular people, but they're counting clones, they're counting doubles, they're counting NPCs.
And shapeshifters.
So there's all of those. Where is everybody? Why is there so much land available? And why is everybody being forced to live in cities? When there's land everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were all created where? China? Right?
Thanks, China. No,
It's
not
called,
really.
what was it? Clone feed?
Mm.
Kind of like what I showed everybody on the TikTok with the Doctor Who with clone feed. It's called clone feed. Over there in China, that humidity is not water. It's clone feed. It's to keep the clones alive until they can sustain their own selves.
I remember when you brought that up. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's why China is so full of people. And there's certain parts that you can't go to in China.
Well, that's just like what I was watching about what is it called? I think it's in Arizona, the really pretty rocks and pathways and
The Great Canyon?
yeah. They
Grand Canyon. I'm sorry, Great Canyon.
That works. That works for me. They said 90% of the Grand Canyon people aren't allowed to explore because there's so much evidence in
Mm-hmm.
history. People, just recently I saw Egypt picture of the pyramid and the Sphinx in front of it, and then a picture of the Grand Canyon. Same thing, but worn down. So the head of the Sphinx was gone, and the pyramid looked just fine.
That steam coming out from the floors of New York was not steam. That was also clone feed.
Oh, interesting. Because there were clones down there?
Well, think about it. They transfer them from all across the world. So they go from China to France to Italy to here to wherever that they need the clones.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Hence why there is always someone watching someone. Because there's always the, what do you call those? The people that control other people, the watchers. I forgot what they were called. Like we always see them in the government, where they're always like lip syncing with the person that's talking.
Are you talking about the oh my god.
Gatekeepers? I don't
No. No, no, but that's close.
It's the one that we've always talked about with Jason Q, that they control the clones. They control the people and what they say.
Yeah, I
Those
know.
people.
Yeah. If you guys have that word,
Yeah, well, everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's the that's what our NPCs always had. Somebody always watching them. Hence why we always felt somebody watching our back, because they were watching our NPCs, which our NPCs were also sort of connected to us in a way, because we could remember certain people, but we can't remember conversations, right? Which means that we've always had somebody watching our back. Hence why we've always felt like somebody was always watching us. And most people cannot handle that, which is why depression kicked in, which is why anxiety, PTSD out of nowhere for a lot of people. I always called them watchers.
remember, okay, so we all talked about Bush's wife being that for Bush, remember? We talked about that. So there's a word that talks about
handlers.
Here we go.
Thank you, Cornelius.
Thank you, Cornelius. You just saved our minds from going over and over and over.
This is some great information that was being pulled out just now.
Yeah. Always. So, handlers.
And what's funny is that everybody's getting all this information from everyone else. I don't watch anybody else.
Remember when we were talking about the Bushes and you brought that up? It was regarding a different... We started off a different topic, but you said Bush was one of them. She threw him down under the table.
Oh, you're talking about when he died. Yeah. His clone wigged out.
And then another one was brought up. I remember people talking about who killed him. Maybe Bush, female Bush killed him because he wasn't playing by the rules or something.
No, his body was taken off of what do you call that? That he woke up from his cryo sleep.
A bit early. That was years ago.
Remember, clones cannot live without its parasitic. Parasitic clones cannot live without its host being in the cryotube.
So, okay, in that situation, who came up under the table then?
That I do not know. I think they caught him right in time to be able to put him back to sleep. Or unless that was a double.
Well, I think they escorted him out, right?
It could have been that they
If
woke
I
him
rem-
up to put him in jail, and then a double came in.
so if I'm remembering correctly, they brought him out from under the table and then escorted him out of the room. Is that correct?
I don't remember.
If so, then they didn't have to show him too much. Could have been anyone.
Could have been anyone.
Yeah.
We've never learned what was in the notes of the funeral. Yeah, I know. Oprah as a handler. I would not doubt that. You guys saw her with the landing. She was, and then she saw the camera on.
You know, I recently saw oh wait a minute. Oh, a video about what's her name who played Dory?
Oh. Oh, I know who you're talking about. That,
DeGeneres?
yeah.
Okay.
Ellen DeGeneres. There
Yeah.
you go.
So there was a I'm sad and I'm upset post for her. You know? And I was like, "Oh, what's this about? Let's see what the comments are saying." I only read through a handful of comments, and each one was like, "Fuck her ass. She can go screw her. She can go die." And I'm like, "Yeah, a lot of people woken up." That was great. It was really great to see.
You know, honestly, I don't think that there was anything special written on those notes. What I think was on those notes was a string of numbers. Because we're being taught about the numbers right now.
Yeah, it's true.
And the frequencies.
Oh, excuse me.
Which activated something. That's what I think. Oh. You press it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You want one?
No, okay. I think it activated something. Had to be.
Well, I don't remember who, but one or two of them were quaking in their shoes.
Well, think about it. They didn't have enough time to read whatever that was on there, but they did have enough time to react to what was on there. Which means that it reacted, something clicked. And then things started to change.
I haven't seen numbers the same way since the stars showed us through you how important they are and how powerful they are. And I'm always wary of price tags, you know, the signs with the prices. I'm just like, no, I'm not looking at you.
Because that's what makes you want to buy. It's not just the frequency. It has to be a coordination of numbers and frequencies to react, to create something within your brain structure.
Oh, Cornelia says Black Eye Club. Maybe they opened a portal. Rockefeller, Rothschild, Inversion, Bloody Hand Wilson.
Lee says, no judgment now, just watch. It's time to just watch. Think about it. Right now, we're in the World Cup running of poker. Playing our last hands.
Yeah. Stars called it even before it came out in mainstream, didn't it?
Somebody else said we're playing poker now. And then the stars was like, see? See? We're no longer playing chess because all the pieces are already set. We've been playing chess for many years. And all the chess pieces are now in the game.
Wow.
Once Trump came back into office, the chess game was over. We're now in the throes of poker.
So, Kidd said something interesting today. He said, Elon, being said that Elon is stepping down out of the government because he doesn't want to be part of the government, right? And he only can do what he's doing for a certain period of time. He said, but keep in mind that we don't know who said that. And they didn't say that. Elon didn't make a message saying that, right?
It didn't come out of his own mouth. Let's just say that. If it didn't come out of its main mouth, everything else is just
Hearsay.
He said, she said. So until we hear it from the main mouth, it's not true. But always go with your gut feeling of what you know is to be true.
So Lee's asking how long YouTube been involved with all of this. Back in California, right?
Let me see. About 8 years now? Coming up to 8 years doing this? Because 3 years here, about 5 years there. So we've been doing these lives for about 8 years, but we have been following the truth for maybe like 10. Waking up for the last 12.
I guess that sounds reasonable. Sounds like it.
So we've been.
Hey, Boots.
Governor Elon. we've been no. Ever since I was on the drug dirty. So 9. It's already come up to 9 years? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 9 years. 9 years clean. This year. 9 years clean.
That's
which
when...
means 9, 10, 11, 12, about 4 years into that. So yeah, about 13 years. We've been waking up.
That's when that sage came into my life and started teaching me about all the things going on in the government. That was interesting. I'm just like, no, really? Wow. Couldn't believe it. So Boots wants to ask, what is consciousness and how does the soul interact with the consciousness?
That's a good question.
Six years ago, huh, Lee? Wow. Oh man. So you've watched us grow up.
I've heard a lot of people say that the consciousness and the soul are one and the same. And then I've heard a lot of people say that the consciousness and the soul are two different beings all in one. Which is why we are a trinity being of the physical, the mental, and the spiritual aspects. The consciousness is of the mental aspect, while the spiritual is of the soul, and then your body is of the physical, right? And that's what makes that trinity being. But the consciousness is also really connected into the matrix, which I believe that the consciousness is a second form of nature because it can be copied. If you think about it, a consciousness can be copied, which means that it's a mental aptitude of strings connected by a
strings of data,
main computer component.
So strings of data then.
You could say it's a lot of strings of data. Hence why the golden strands.
Remember the video you showed me about the red light and all the data that's in there? And then you were telling me today, the red and the blue. Oh, yeah, the red light and the blue, methylene blue would work together. Those are streams of information.
The red light therapy and the methylene blue therapy used in one creates the purple frequency, which is also the crown chakra frequency, which then brings the healing modality, you could say, within the body, the healing energies.
Okay. And someone asked, we have at Boots, we have the mind and consciousness. Is there distance? Is he talking about distance between mind and consciousness?
I think that, in all honesty, it's the consciousness runs within the bloodstream, because it's all about information. Consciousness is information. When the soul is, you have 3 different hearts. You have the spiritual heart, physical heart, and the mental heart, right? 3 different hearts, and they all beat 3 different parts. The physical heart is also part of the consciousness heart, because there's always blood running through the brain, right? Hence why we also have gold in our blood. We're not supposed to have iron or copper or anything like that. That is just something that is a coating to help keep our bodies in a string way of the 3D matrix connection. Hence why the body breaks down, because it's so attached to the matrix part of us when we don't have the iron or the copper within our blood. So if we were to go full crystalline, full gold, full silver within our blood, then we would be basically in the throes of the Olympian gods. And they don't want us to be like that. So they did something to our body to keep us from getting to that part, which is to that point, which is why our bodies break down when we have no iron or copper.
Oh my
God. So to answer your question, the consciousness runs through the blood, which is the gold within our bloodstream, which is being dumbified by the copper and the iron. And how close is it in a mental aptitude? I would say that it is. I wouldn't even say that it's even far. It's all connected together as one. But once we get to that gold, silver, crystalline form of ours, we won't have to worry about, we won't be a Trinity being, we will be a singularity being.
So the TV show Sense8, one of our favorites, they had a collective consciousness and was able to pull all sorts of goodies. Wasn't that amazing? Yes, Happy Chick. Lucy is one of our favorite movies too. If you haven't seen it, it would be a good one to watch. It's absolutely incredible.
So Cornelia says that's where eating from a silver spoon comes from. Only organic matter, not inorganic.
Ormus.
Gold and silver is a form of organic matter, if you think about it. A magnet can attach to iron, and it can also attract but not attach to copper. Silver and gold it can't. Hence why colloidal silver and colloidal gold is good for us. And hence why if you take too much, it can hurt you because of the component that we have within our body. Because it blocks it. I think what they did was that they installed something within our heart to block whatever gold and silver that we put into our body. They only allow so much. A regulator, you'd say.
So all of that is going to be corrected when the the light show begins, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The flash. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the flash isn't going to be a solar flash. It's going to be a magnanimous flash. The solar flashes are, um, you could say, like inorganic. It's not natural. It's not a natural form of something. It is an explosion of energy that our bodies cannot withstand, hence why the trees, the plants overgrow during the springtime because through summer is when we get a lot of those solar flashes. And they don't tell us that. And then that's why the plants, the animals, and we get tired during the winter because everything needs to empty out.
So, is the flash that is going to shift us? Is that um done through like the machine?
No, no, it's
It's
not going to be a machine.
it's the alignment of universal things.
What people call the flash, they think is a flash of light, when in actuality, it's just going to be a flash of something. It's not going to be light at all, I don't believe. But the flash is going to happen, and the skies are going to change, and everyone's going to see it. So the flash could be the flash event of the firmament down.
Hmm.
Because what we're going to see is that we're going to see the real skies for what they truly are. We're not going to see dark. We're not going to see black. We're going to see planets. We're going to see suns. We're going to see moons. We're going to see crystals. We're going to see everything that's outside the firmament that we're supposed to be seeing. And we're also going to be seeing the trees that we're surrounded by.
Wow. Can't wait. That sounds amazing. It's super exciting. It needs to happen sooner than later. That's my vote. Yeah, me too, Maria. Maria says, I can't wait for the reveal. What about people that work inside
Inside.
a building, I guess? I think that's what Leah's asking.
The energy that's going to be coming in, the oxygen that's going to be coming in, everything that's going to finally be coming in after the firmament comes down is going to heal the body. We're not going to need a machine to help us heal. Our bodies are going to automatically heal.
So you'll notice it no matter where you are.
Hence why we're already starting to heal.
So remember in Discovery of Witches when
Who let the dogs out? We did. We did. No.
what was the main character's name? Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Diana opened up the Ash Mall 187?
182.
182. And the vampires weren't even close to her, and yet their blood was reacting. Remember? So just picture it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Every part of us is going to be reacting, and we're going to feel it. And we're going to know something's up no matter where you're at.
So think about the Flash. The superhero, the Flash. He's called the Flash. Why? Because all you see is right? Same thing with this. It's not going to be a string of light. It's not going to be a flash of light. It's just going to be a flash of something and it's done. So the firmament, a lot of us are going to see the firmament break. A lot of us are going to see the firmament get taken off. But those that don't, those that are either, I think everyone's going to be able to go outside and see the event.
So it won't be instantaneous. It'll be
They just call it the flash event because it's just a really big event. They want it flashy.
So
flashing.
when when our um I forgot what the firmament, when our firmament comes down, does all the other firmaments come down?
No. No,
Interesting.
ours is going to be the first one. Um, there's only a few other places that actually have firmaments because firmaments are meant to capture and hold. So you could say that this is the hence why they call it a prison, because firmaments are meant to keep things in, not push air. Yeah, keep things in, not allow them to get out. So once you come in, you can't get out. That's why they've always said that. Once you come in, you can never leave. Like the song Hotel California. Once you come in, you can never leave. Same thing. It's a prison.
So why do you say that, Lee?
Who said Flashy was bad?
Bouger.
Well, if they did take the ferment off without getting us ready, our bodies would implode or explode. Because too much. Think about it. If you go way down into the ocean and then come up too fast, and then if you don't go into that one chamber, you explode. Same thing. So they have to slowly allow the oxygen and allow the pressure to come in before they take the full ferment off all at once.
In the TV show Sense8, the guy, which guy? There's a bunch of guys in there.
Oh, Whispers.
Oh, the guy.
He's talking about Whispers.
Okay.
The guy that, the main bad guy, Whispers.
I thought he was saying a guy whispers.
No, the guy Whispers.
Okay.
Whispers.
What did you guys think of him? Oh man,
He's evil.
So evil.
He's so evil. I freaking hate him as a person. That's how good he plays his role.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Oh.
Anyone who can make you hate them.
I wonder if the wall works with pyramids as an energy conductor. Which wall? Are you talking about the wall that Trump is building? That wall? Because the stars have already revealed that that wall is creating a, what do you call that? A barrier between not Mexico and United States, but it's creating a barrier between different frequencies. Can you tell them to get a move on? I'm in a hurry to see.
Lee, what do you think they're keeping out?
I think that's fear-based. Because if you think about it, the same thing happened over there not in real life, but I'm talking about Attack on Titan, where they had all those walls, and we tear down those walls, the Titans will come in and eat the people. So there's that fear of something might come in. But what's funny is that, yes, the firmament is to keep certain things out, but those things can still break in easily. So what's out there already protecting us from whatever's coming in? Because the Leviathan is already in here. Right?
Aliens are already here.
And the Leviathan is already waking up, and he hasn't destroyed anything. There's a lot of beings out there that are pro us waking up.
So, what about air? Remember Bones when he said space is a life sucking. It'll suck your flesh from your bones. You remember? So if the firmament comes down, will space suck all the air out?
Well, that's why they are going to do it slowly. That's why it's called a flash event. Because an event takes a while for it to happen. So they're going to slowly allow the air to come in, whatever oxygen that they have out there to come in. And yes, it is going to be different. It is going to be harder to breathe at first. But things are going to change. Not only are we going to heal, but we're also going to grow.
Taller?
Bigger.
Oh.
So these houses are most likely not even going to fit us anymore. We're all supposed to be giants. We're all supposed to be bigger.
I know, we're like little fairies.
Okay.
Tiny.
Take marshmallows, put it in a mason jar, and then vacuum seal it and watch what happens.
It shrinks. And then when you open up the jar,
I think that's what happens. But yes, that's what's happening here. No wonder it stinks. So Baja says the Trump wall is a frequency wall of 528 hertz. Yes, it is. Well, that's good you're not fearful, Lee. Nothing has come in. There are no aliens in which they tried to tell us Neil A equals alien and take evil minds off of killing, hurting us good guys. Came up with NASA. Huh? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
well, however it's revealed, I'm okay with it.
Well, the new frequencies are already coming in, which means that they've already started sending out the frequencies to change up certain frequencies in here, hence why the rainbow has a whole new slew of color. So there's that. That was a sign. And remember what it says in the Bible, that God sent the rainbow as a sign of promise, when it's actually just a message. And it's, to kind of show that we are in a firmament type thing. But, like what Trump says, promises made, promises kept, right? There's always that you have to also tie that rainbow in with. Those new colors, which means new frequencies, which means what's next. What comes after frequencies? Frequency, vibration. So something of a vibratory force is most likely going to happen. I'm not talking about earthquakes, tsunamis, or anything like that. I'm talking one of our senses. Maybe kind of like the revealing of spaceships, the revealing of different machines. I don't know. Something is going to happen with our senses, and then after that is going to be most likely of the physical reality of something else changing.
Oh, that's interesting, Lee. I didn't catch that at first. I'm glad you spelled that out. Where she said alien, so spell it backwards. A Neil.
Kind of like a pineal? Like the pineal gland?
I don't know. That's beyond me.
Well.
Maria's curious about the new colors in the rainbow.
So I saw a TikTok of somebody showing, what do you call that? a rainbow which had the normal colors of a rainbow, but underneath it was a slew of different colors, kind of like crystal clear. So, what does Neil mean then?
I don't know. Lee, what does Neil mean?
Neil Armstrong.
But we do know that there are reptilians, right? And then what about the ones with the long, elongated skulls? Right? It's amazing we're having a conversation with that is even relatable or understandable with the way our minds are tired. Alien, a flip it. So the good guys tried to tell us.
Cornelia says a lion. A lion. Oh, wait.
What?
A lion, right?
Yeah.
And then you have what the stars said. Read between the lies.
Uh-huh.
A lie. N.
Mm-hmm.
What's between A and N?
A lie.
Read between the lies.
Good one, Cornelius. That's really interesting, Lee.
I need to spend even more time on TikTok. Well, I'd be very careful, Maria, because I am scooting away from TikTok for right now because the stars have said that, well, the stars told me through what do you call that? A feeling that the reason why my algorithm has gone to shit is that attachment is going to be really easy right now to attach to certain things, to comment on things, to have feelings of certain things, which then you're attaching to that frequency, that timeline, and you're going to be creating it within your experience. So be very careful on what you do. If you have that strength to be able to keep yourself away from that type of thing and to keep yourself off of those timelines, then you're more than welcome to. But right now I am going for myself, I'm going to do my absolute best to avoid anything that is going to keep me on certain timelines.
Well, babe, do you realize that we've been live for an hour and 20 minutes?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm reaching my limit.
Okay. This is a really good conversation. We need to have more conversations like this.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. The stars revealed a lot today.
And we love it that you guys are participating because there's so much that we don't know or haven't had privy to information, and you guys do. So it's really wonderful that you're sharing what you've learned.
Yeah, and it's really great that we're getting, what do you call that? Confirmation that what the stars are saying is true. Confirmation that it's out there, that's already in the flow of things.
Yeah.
Is what I meant.
And we enjoy learning from you guys.
The stars love to teach. All right, so now we need to go do the collective tuning.
Oh, yeah. I still need energy for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you guys, we love you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. I'll talk to you guys on Telegram about finding out when is a good time to go live on there, since I couldn't do it this last weekend because they had me stay longer. But I'm thinking tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Because I'm off tomorrow.
True. We have milk to pick up.
Yeah,
Well,
but
besides that, we're
that's
free.
just milk.
And I could even go do that.
Yeah.
So, I want to leave this with you. Be more you.
Be more of you. I don't remember who said that. But we love it.
It was one of our family members.
Yeah.
Every time someone sneezes, I think it's Maria. She always says, be more you.
And that one soap, the one blessed green,
yeah, that one.
goopy soap is amazing. I use it all the time. It's awesome.
It is. So there was a video about talking about not washing your hair because your skull has its own biome, and he said you need to do that at least 3 months before things even out, and your hair is just beautiful then. I'm wondering, how would I transition from daily washing with a very mild soap to no washing? So if you guys have any ideas on that, please share. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Love you guys.
This is awesome. Thank you guys.
See you next week.
Yep.
Uh,
Wait. Let me check my schedule really fast before we go. It's really nice. I get to see it. I get to check my schedule. My next shift is on Friday, but next week I do work Wednesday and Thursday. 2 to 6, 2 p.m. to 6.
So we're gonna move the live to Friday or Monday.
Either Monday, Friday, or Saturday, but I do have Wednesday on the 30th off. So
that would be like 2 weeks no live, right? That okay? You want to just skip a week?
No. I don't want to do it earlier because I want to be ready for work.
Yeah, I know. That could take the energy from you, and you could use that.
So Friday, we could do Friday.
You guys okay with that? Waiting a week and a half for everyone to get together?
When is the 13th month 28 calendar going to come in?
Love you too, Victoria.
That won't be implemented for a good couple months, is what I'm feeling.
What?
The 13-month calendar. Things need to be cleaned up a little bit more before that happens. Because they can't go off script with this movie. If they do, things will go haywire.
Yeah, no, that's important that they do what they need to do.
They need to stay on script at the moment. Yeah, because this movie is... It's bank holiday this Friday in the UK. Oh, I'm wondering if that's a big thing. So, Trump is taking away a lot of visas from people that are not part of this country, sending them back. People are having to go back to their country. Which means what? We're getting closer and closer to the RV happening. Because remember, everybody has to be in their own countries, right? For this to happen. So this is why this game is being played in this way. And all these poker playing people are losing and going back where they came from.
So the big year-long party starts May 26th. By the way, that's my anniversary. And that gives us a month and 2 weeks for everything to culminate, to see how we're going to be able to participate in a year-long party.
You said March 20?
May.
May.
May 26th, yeah. how are we going to participate in a year-long party in the straits that we're in right now? I mean, I don't see how it's going to happen. So we'll see what kind of shifts take place and what their plans are. And Trump must be pretty secure in what he knows and what he feels about it for him to make that announcement. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made it and then change his mind. He doesn't play that way.
Yeah. What I do says I wash my hair once a month.
Yeah, and she said, try to just make it longer periods between your washings. So every day to every other day to every 2 days to every 3 days, and just keep going like that until you can. That's a good idea.
Just stick your head in a bucket of tallow and you'll be good. I don't need tallow. All right, you guys. So we will see you guys on Friday, the 25th, instead of Wednesday because I'm working that day. Woohoo!
All right. That sounds good. All right. So we'll see you then, guys. Love you.
All right. Love you guys.
Have any questions, reach out to us, okay?
Oh,
Hugs.
and those that are part of the collected tuning, we will see you guys in a little bit in the energetic fields.